Pradeep ji, you can, I think, see the screen, right?
I can see the screen, and shall I start now?
Okay, I'll just make a small introduction, and
Okay,
then I'll
please.
hand it
Please.
over to you. It will be all yours.
Please.
So thank you, everyone, and welcome to this session on stroke therapy and stem cell therapy and stroke, presented by Dr. Pradeep Mahajan. I will just make a small introduction. He's based in Mumbai and quite well established in stem cell related issues, and has got his own center there as well. I think since almost 10 years or more in
Around 10 years, you can say.
around 10 years and more in regenerative therapies. And I like one of his statement that he feels that pills will be out of business very soon, and it will be more cells in business. So that will be interesting to see how it goes. And from here, it's all yours, Dr. Pradeep. Thank you.
Thank you, Hardeep. Let me first of all, thanks to Hardeep and his team and his group, Stroke Foundation of India, who gave me an opportunity to be here on your dais to present you and connect you to the science of future. Because I have been following the group of stem cell stroke group, stroke group, where I could see various presentations, various talks, various opportunities, various explanations from various patients who are survivors of the stroke. To introduce me first, before I take ahead, Dr. Pradeep Mahajan, basically by training and surgeon. Last 10 years, Hardeep, I'll just give a small stroke of my work so that people will know where I'm coming from.
Sure, sir. Yeah.
Last 10 years, I'm in research, exclusively working on regenerative medicine, leaving my surgical faculty aside. I worked for 20 years as a professor of surgery, faculty for developing regenerative medicine and cell therapies with University of Maharashtra Health Sciences, and presenting as examiner at various boards like D.Y. Patil, then Institute of Technology Management, where I go and present my talks as in class faculties. As a faculty, I'm attached with the US, where in Indianapolis University and Ohio State University. In fact, there is my mentor has been from US, where I'm affiliated to a lot of clinical trials. During the course of my talk, I'll bring it one of the slide which I'll show you, how brain stroke injuries or any kind of brain damages led to the degenerative processes or injuries using tissue nanotransfections, which is a cutting edge science. It's not very far off. It's the next corner where we'll be seeing that how we can generate the neurons in the lab and use their own therapeutic modules in your own brain. The entire concept today for joining on this social platform, my first confirmation with the group is that this talk of today is an education, not anywhere related to commercial activity. The group of members where they share their feelings, emotions, which make them to understand the sufferings and their limitations in the conventional science, where post-stroke, the stroke we understand is not only an aging patient, it could be in a small child also, it could be an adult also, it could be an aging person also. If you imagine the ratio of life suffering in a young guy or a small child and aging person, it's a big challenge. Now, since I'm committed to science of future, now stem cell therapy is one of the core subjects of me, but I'm connected to a future science. I'm connected to the future science, and this future science connects to regenerative medicine with physical energy science and lot of AI, that is artificial intelligence. The entire journey of my association with various institutions has given me an opportunity to bring under one umbrella how do we regenerate, how we regenerate. Unfortunately, we are taught in the medical schools or in our presentations various, there are certain researches which have done place 50 years before and still we follow the same teaching. In fact, years before, brain was taken as a very complex organ. I still remember when I had opportunity to select my subject as a neurosurgery after my MS in surgery. I left my neurosurgery faculty for the reason then there was no much development in the neuroscience. Maybe I am talking about 30 years before. The only therapy what we used to sew a burr hole in the brain and drain the hematoma and leave the patient with physiotherapy rehab programs and recover of its own. That was the only program which was in neuroscience. But the science which is dynamic today, which keeps on changing every day. In fact, in last 10 years, what I have learned, if I'm thinking something today to do as an innovative procedure, somewhere someone has already done it. Means the entire corners of the world are doing a lot of innovation science. And now this complex brain, which I was just telling you 30 years before or 20 years, which was very difficult to understand, has become, and the slides are not moving, has become a very simple, easy organ, which is made up of only 4 types of cells. And you can imagine, kidney is more complex than the brain, where there are 13 types of cells. And they have to integrate to show the complete function. The brain, which we are going to talk today, we have to see first what is a developing brain. And then I'll bring you a very plateaued dish to understand easily, because I know I'm talking to the patients and lay peoples who are waiting to understand how we can recope our lives, which are challenging after the stroke, but making you understand in a simple lay languages. Now, it is possible to understand only when I take you to a small journey of developing brain. Now, what happens, as I told you, brain was a complex organ, but let me share you, brain is the most simplest organ in the body, composed of 4 types of cells. In the first 3 months of your life, brain cells are multiplying, proliferating, dividing one after one, at a speed of 10 million to 50 million cells per minute to achieve 100 billion cells in 3 months. And the second step comes the interconnection of the brains. Third comes the movement of the neurons to develop various centers, Now, at that stage, if we understand which type of cells, what are their functions, being only 4 neurons, their actor of these 4 types of cells is a neuron. Neuron is an actor who plays a major role in the entire process, and rest of cells are assisting cells. Now, this slide will show you from 25 days to 9 months. In fact, if you see 5th month to 6th month, the brain is completely developed, various centers and various parts. In fact, the core brain or forebrain of the human being is one which is the advanced development in the human species. This is a chart which is showing you. These are very important when I'm going to talk to you, stem cells and their applications and various other therapies which can enhance your cell development or neurogenesis, which earlier in the substitute slide I'll show you, which earlier used to say that brain cells cannot differentiate, cannot divide, and cannot proliferate after the birth. In application, if you see the first 3 months brain development, thereafter goes, as I said you, connections. There I tell you migration of the cells in the months, which is showing below, and then years. In fact, at the time of birth, the brain, though fully developed, but it is not interconnected. That is the reason we call them the milestones. In a human being, milestones play a major role up to 7 to 8 years, where these interconnections of the brains are developing and higher functions of our brain, like thinking brains, then vision, hearing, all those are taking shape. And the child we call, yes, he has start rolling, he has start crawling, he has start walking, he has start speech, he has a vision to start, he has started hearing. Now these centers does make a role in the recovery when we are going to say how to treat the specific centers. When I'm going to talk to you about mapping of the brain, when we target those centers, how to regenerate them. This again is sensitive period after first year to second year, where the various functions of the brain have become stabilized, and neural proliferation, which is seen initially in this blue color, which is seen from coming from the top at 100 level and going down, where the proliferation is going down as we grow older, means neural proliferation has come down but has not stopped. These are recommended products during to have a healthy brain during the in womb of the mother and post womb of the mother to develop the brain properly. As I said you, proliferation, migration, and differentiation, and takes to sensitive period. This is very important. At this junction, the child's brain is interacting with the environmental changes, and these environmental changes affect the child's brain. The degenerative conditions of the brain, if they are exposed to certain unhealthy environments of stress or any kind of you can say malpractices or wrong things, the children's brain responds to it with the down regulation of certain genes. This complex brain, as I was talking, has its own parts with different functions. These functions are motor, sensitive, speech, sensory, hearing, and they are defined with different responses or different colors of the ear in this slide. This response of the brain to the environment is called plasticity. Means this plastic word why I'm using is to make you understand brain is in process of continuous development, not only during the early phase of life till you become old and die. So that is the reason I'm saying you brain can be changed completely in the process of neurogenesis, in spite certain areas of the brain are damaged because of stroke, because caused by the bleeding, by emboli or degenerative conditions or any kind of infective conditions. The superficial of the brain has got older neurons and lower brain has got new neurons. This slide shows you is a cake of soft tissue, very soft tissue. If you touch, even touch, it will damage it. Even touch means feathery touch, it can give a damage to the neurons. And these neurons, superficial neurons, are the older neurons, lower neurons. This reason this slide is understanding for important when we are giving various therapies, treatments of stimulation to the various centers of the brain, we should understand what depth we have to go to give these stimulations to the depth of neurons. At a complex level, the entire function of the brain comes from the electricity, which is derived from the neurotransmitters like acetylcholine, dopamine, adrenaline, serotonin. And this is the entire building block: dendrite, cell body, axon, and axon terminal. This is very important because even if a part of axon survives during your stroke attack due to a bleed or emboli, still neuron that can be regenerated till the entire axon, dendrites, and synaptic connections are achieved. This is how the supporting cells like oligo or Gallial cells, astrocytes, and ependymal cells or Gallial cells, they are supportive cells to maintain the function of a neuron, which is functioning through an electric current. Now, this electric current in a healthy cell, if you see in the top right, is uniformly flowing, and dendrites of the neurons are functioning to get attachment of the other neuron. Whereas the disease or damaged neuron at a lower side is showing the sheath is damaged, dendrites are damaged, and the electric current becomes very slow. Now, this slide is very important for you to understand in stroke, particularly degenerative conditions or a traumatic stroke. Remember, even if we could regenerate, I'll say rather word, these type of damage partial, but there are very slow current taking these axons. If we regenerate these neurons, we can achieve our 70 to 80% of the function which is lost. And with the definition, when I call ADL, activities for daily living, which we expect these subjects or stroke survivors having their challenges for day-to-day life maintenance can be very easily achieved using the technology which I'm going to talk today with artificial intelligence and stem cells. This is a cake where synaptic connections growing towards the migration towards the surface, where we want to target those neurons in the regeneration. Now, this slide is very important for you. Reason I'll tell you, the burning does mean if we don't use those neurons as a learning process, these synaptic connections disappear subsequently. Now, at the age of 6 years, 6 months to 2 years, we have a highest density of synaptic connections. This is a period where the child or anyone can grasp very difficult things very easily. But if you see 4 years, 6 years, these synaptic connections are reducing. This is called a synaptic burning effect. And as we go ahead to see, as we age older during the course where we don't use our thinking brain, either because of degenerative processes or because of traumatic lesions or because you are having a lethargic life, sedentary life, you can see the synaptic connections disappearing. Use it or lose it is called burning. If you use it, you can regenerate those sensations. This slide is important for the reason, again, I come back to our therapies where scientifically we want to prove you if you use those partially damaged neurons by deep brain stimulations or stimulations of them or using various technologies of stem cell or progenitor neural cells, we can reconnect those neurons to achieve or function up to 70-80%. This slide is very important for you to understand. If you use it, you are lucky to recover. If you don't use it, you lose it. Now, controlling various functions. This particular slide will show the areas in the mapping required when we are trying to work up the protocol, which I'm going to talk to you today is a sandwich protocol, and thereafter some artificial intelligence procedures where we'll give an idea how we can use these targeted zones of the brain, which is for the taste, touch, pressure, motor functions, speech, smell, hearing, facial recognitions, or reading. I have not taken all very difficult areas, reason being that what you require for ADL activities for daily living, these much areas are sufficient for you to understand from frontal to cerebellum area, which is concerned with your balancing and finer movements. Now, the dogma which we in the group, most of the people follow is to understand we cannot regenerate back. There are certain labile connections, there are certain stable connections in the neuron. Now, stable connections we can maintain throughout the life. One has to understand how to maintain through therapies. Whereas labile connections will get damaged during the process when we don't use, we can reconnect them back again by using the Vaidya proliferation technologies. Earlier it was unable to proliferate, which we taught the dogma in medical schools is nowhere existing. This you should need to understand. This small slide I'm showing you that your damaged brain can regenerate through developing through new synaptic connections. Now, this was the dogma which I spoke, and this is where it was shown in 1998. The adult hippocampus of the brain is grown after exposing to high pressure oxygen continuously for 30 days or 40 days, showing that we can regenerate the neurons, we can achieve those memory functions back, we can achieve those speech functions back, in spite there is a damage. Paradigm has shifted from non-expected things to expected in newer chapters like cell technologies to develop new therapies to prove CNS is remarkably plastic and adult neurogenesis possible. Now, this is a small slide which will show you the neurogenesis. Means, I think it's a very small video if I could play for you. So I don't think it's not playing. Where you could see how the neurons can generate when the adult neurons die away, how the new neurons come. These are the small areas of the brain which called a subventricular zone, which is very important to understand where the stem cells of the neuron are present, of the brain are present. SZZ, the paraventricular space, and subventricular zone are the areas where we still in aging process, we still have a niche area where stem cells do exist, where the stem cells do exist. And how do we use those stem cells to grow? The second important aspect of stem cell technology here, apart from progenitor neural cells or stem cells existing in the brain, role of astrocytes, which are the supporting cells in the brain, is to understand they can interchange the function into neurons. That glial, fibril, acidic protein positive neurons will show we can convert these neurons, these astrocytes which are present in the brain, which are supporting to neurons, can be differentiated into neurons. Means we have two sources of the cells to regenerate. One is three sources. One is the partially damaged neurons, which I showed you, which are slow functioning, where the electric impulses are going very slowly. Second, progenitor cells, which I showed you in the niche areas. And third, astrocytes. So you understood the technology says we can make these three groups of neurons into functional neurons, which are non-functional here. They also require certain growth factors and signaling pathways like epidermal growth factor, fibroblast growth factor, then the neuron growth factor or BDNF, brain development growth factors, which are present in your bone marrow during the process. These growth factors are taking signals to the neurons to differentiate, and various pathways like notch or ligand will be useful to develop these neurons. Why I'm showing you? To make you confident to understand, yes, there are certain factors apart from stem cells to still enhance in my sandwich protocol to get the proliferation and differentiation and get the connections of the synaptic neurons back so as our functions can be re-established back, motor regeneration or sensory regeneration. These are again some slides which are showing about the neural growth factor. So regeneration or regenerative science and neural disorders, where we will consider the damage of the brain, which will take from a technique where there will be either hematoma, subdural, intradural, or in the midbrain, which can lead to damage to your brain, where can lead to a hypoxia, and this hypoxia can cause you death of the neurons because of the collection of the blood, or could be because of the emboli. Of all the neural problems, we have 25% the traumatic injuries and 10% of the degenerative conditions, which are helpful for our conditions, and inflammatory also 30%, which could be having a stroke-like conditions. So supportive therapy is current, what we are practicing, and I could see in our all group that the way everybody tries to find out various type of therapies globally being developed and rehabilitation programs, therapies, speech therapies, occupational therapies, and trying to aspect how we can bring the functions back. Now, these current therapies has got their limitation because they are giving only possible the pharmacological, not but physiological functional recovery, which is possible, very small amount of functions. Now, depending on organs, these physiological functional regeneration of every organ changes. If you take to skin, bones, they have a highest proliferation, regeneration. Even heart has got good quality of regeneration, but the brain has got very less regeneration compared to other in a physiological function, means in normal recovery. And every therapy adds to an additional benefit of recovery of the neuronal new connections. The therapies do make change, definitely. But if you support them with the aging processor damages to give pharmacological molecules like growth factors, stimulatory factors, and cells. As Hardeep has made my one favorite statement, tomorrow, down the line 10 years, all the pills which are recommended today will be replaced by cells. And the cells are there for you by natural philosophy, which I always write on my every document. We carry our repairing tools. You have got all repairing tools in the brain. We need to understand how do we repair them, use those tools and kits. So looking, the platform is changed. We need to have innovational thinking. We can't just think we can treat the signs and symptoms and let the body regenerate. The body will regenerate definitely, but only to the physiological functional abilities, which has been given by nature, every organ, some amount of regeneration. In this case, brain has got minimum possibility of regeneration. So can we harness the power of stem cells to regenerate or to repair the brain? Like I told you, routine wear and tear, skin and stomach linings have highest, whereas external damages like injuries or internal damage by the blood vessels can always lead to a body's intellectual working systems damage, and we need to take the help of external sources to improve that beautiful organs perfectly. Now, in the total process, when we talk of stem cell, so let me clear one story of your routine practice when we are in a day-to-day life. When we get an injury, we fall down and we get a fracture injury. And after getting a fracture injury, you may be going to a surgeon like me. I put up the plaster, simple plaster from external source. I may not do even after taking the X-ray. My assistant will put, I'll give a pill of calcium and a second will be painkiller, and said, after 1.5 months, 3 months, I'll call you and remove the plaster. The fracture will be completely healed. The new bone is formed. Now, the concept is this particular day-to-day practice will make you understand this wear and tear beyond physical damage can be repaired by the body itself. Now, if one organ can repair, every organ of your body can be repaired. And bone marrow carries the all type of repairing cells in your body. If a new child born gets an aplastic anemia where the bone marrow is damaged completely, the child will not survive, the child will die. It will lose the life. In such cases, we do bone marrow transplant. What does it mean? We are regenerating the bone, new bone marrow we are trying to develop. And the child will develop. The brain will grow, liver will grow, heart will grow, skin will grow, bone will grow, everything will grow. That indicates your bone marrow carries all the repairing kits from mesenchymal stem cells, hematopoietic cells, plus progenitor cells, progenitor neural cells, signaling factor, growth factors, everything is the bone marrow, which in our lab, in autologous systems, we isolate them and use them for therapeutic purposes like NGF, nerve growth factor, or BDNF growth factors. Now, this is another process. After preparing the cells, how do we use? Now, this is one saying, again, your adipose tissue has got a lot of stem cells. These are called as a mesenchymal stem cells, MSCs. Probably in the group, today only Hardeep has posted one paper, mesenchymal stem cells in stroke. Well, Hardeep, I'm thank you for giving people that research paper. And this paper speaks to you these kind of MSCs which are present in your bone marrow, your adipose tissue, can be used to regenerate or repair the damaging cells or partially damaged cells, or to give the signals to your niche areas of progenitor neural cells or neural stem cells or astrocytes to differentiate into neurons, and give you a scope how we can make the cells functional in your brain. The drug-like mesenchymal cells, they are called as in the body medical drug store. If we use MSCs from these places, they have various functions. Immunomodulatory means they modulate the immune system so as repairing system goes very strong. Anti-inflammatory, whenever you have a bleed or injury, there's a lot of swelling, inflammation comes in. These cells reduce unwanted compensatory mechanisms of damage. Anti-apoptic indicates that it makes cells survive longer. Cells differentiation, which is acquired here from astrocytes to becoming neurons. Then these protein cytokines, which I spoke just now, an angiogenic mechanism is to develop new capillaries, which we expect for neurons to differentiate. Now, this is how the cells from the bone marrow, these stromal stem cells, which are shown in the last line, can be differentiated into various lineages. If you see, we are differentiating them into various lineages, including neurons, which I have shown you there. The ultimate goal of all these therapies is to repair, whether you self-heal as a physiological process, if you replace from the cells outside, again a repair process, or we take a support of stem cells from outside, again repair is our goal, which we want to target. As I told you, even 30, 40%, 50% repair we achieve, ADL, activities for daily living, will reach to 80%. Repairing of 20, 30% will give physical phenotype, repairing our body for functions up to 70, 75%, which is called ADL. Now, this entire umbrella of stem cell concerns with regeneration, restore, replace, and repair. And it comes from a plethora of various types of cells, growth factors, and signaling factors, which are present in your body. That is the reason I call your body carries your repairing tools, and those can be enhanced. This replacing the neural cells or restoring them in the body to regenerate them. And various therapies we can put them. Some of the peptides, if you see, these are the various peptides along with the stem cells which are used at StemRx, which are beneficial to repair the neurons by pharmacological effect, not like physiological effect. Cerebrolysine is again a peptide which is helping to stabilize the mitochondrial function and improving the cell neural function. CMAC again improves the neural regeneration. GTP is gastrodecapeptide. Now, if you analyze your gastric mucosa, which I showed you sometime before, which is lost every minute with each swallowing of a saliva or a food when we swallow or water we drink, the superficial layers of mucosa are lost. And within a minute, the mucosa is regenerated, and that is governed by GTP, gastrodecapeptide. Now, these are present in your gastric fluids or secretions, which we isolate in your lab and use the peptide molecules. Now, TB400 is again similar. Galamine neuropeptides are also similar, which can be used to support regeneration of the neurons in your body. These are various non-invasive research papers to bring your mind to understand post-stroke. Non-invasive brain stimulations, which I'm going to show you subsequently, can improve various functional loss of the brain, which I showed you when we localize or map the brain centers for speech, centers for vision, centers for hearing, and centers for motor functions can be improved. Now, these therapies I have put into a sandwich protocol. The sandwich protocol does mean first to localize the damage in the brain at different parts of the brain. Once this can be done by using various technologies like MRIs, like CT scans, or MRIs with functional effect, or PET scan, positron technologies. Once we localize, then we can specifically target these areas to show neuronal changes, neuronal proliferations. Now, various centers at the brain stem. This slide I have taken you for only one reason. If you see here the location which is shown as a nucleus ambiguous, that is, which is concerned with the swallowing muscles. Right now, I have a patient, after a stroke, she required everything except deglutition. She is unable to swallow and she is on a RT feed. Now, I have developed a very indigenous, customized, personalized protocols. Every patient is a customized here, because when the recovery from a stroke takes place, every patient doesn't recover in the same fashion. Some of them recover much. I have seen many patients after stroke recover 100%. I have seen myself. Some of the patients have recovered their motor function, but they have lost sensory function. Some of the patients for whom I am trying to bring the technology, which is called as TNT, which is also my patient, who has lost his cortical area of vision that is behind the brain, which is lost. Now, here TNT technology we are trying to use, developing using specific molecules which can convert the somatic cells of your skin, which I'm showing on a video of my own presentation, to convert into neurons and transplant them there. These are cutting edge sciences which are at the edge with the next. Some of them may come in 1 year, some of them come in 2 years, some of them in 3 years, but these trials are waiting for you give a quality of life and bring your social respect back, in spite you are suffering with the stroke and making you the stroke survivors. So let us hope these all other technologies will come. Here in deglutition technology where I have lost, here I'll show you the sandwich protocol, what specific technology I'm using. During the course of that slide, I'll explain you what I'm doing it. Now, this is a sandwich. If you see the stroke areas in the brain, could be any area, maybe basal brain, maybe cortical brain, maybe speech area, maybe motor area, maybe your cerebellum. Then we have two types of technologies. One is endogenous and one is exogenous, means taking a support from external source, from a bone marrow, from which will derive from the patient himself, activate them, and again transplant back, either an intrathecal route, or if you have a source or success, we can target deliver to the site of injury, also using stereotactic scan technologies or using the angiography technologies to release those cells at those damaged areas only. And endogenous means, as I told you, the environment of the brain, if it's damaged either because of bleed, either because of inflammation, either because of infection, either because of accumulation of bad proteins, the effects are like stroke only. Ultimately, you are handicapped, either physical motor areas or sensory areas or speech areas. In that condition, how do we repair this damage? By improving the environmental conditions of those cells to survive. That is to reduce apoptosis, to reduce from getting aging process, to improve their electrical connectivity. Now, this is possible by using this technology of hyperbaric chamber. Now, here to explain you, the neurons are 24/7 functioning and they are not under your control. Even if you don't want to think, the ideas will keep flowing in your brain continuously. You may lose the sleep, you may have a stress, you may have anything which are you're not under control, means neurons are functioning. Like sensory functions, by thinking functions, your motor functions. Sometimes you don't want to take your hand out, but it takes out with the impulse. So these are uncontrolled movements, and these are because neurons are supported by millions of mitochondria in it to release, give energy supply. And even a fraction of second blood supply to the brain stops, we get an transient ischemic attacks. We lose the sudden consciousness at the cervical artery or in the spinal column. Now, these things, to understand how to improve the function of the neuron, we provide the brain by 2 atmospheric pressure and 100% oxygen under the pressure to the brain, so as those partially damaged neurons, which I showed you, where the synaptic connection of the dendrites are damaged or the myelin sheath is damaged and the electrical impulses are become very poor or may not be generating, or astral cells, or they may induce angiogenesis and neurogenesis in the niche area of progenitor neural cells. Now, pulse magnetic therapy. Now, every neuron has got a minus and plus electrical impulse. Plus is within the neural cells, and minus is out. Plus is outside, that is extracellular impulse, electrical levels, and inside the cell is minus level. Now, remember, if these electrical potentials are reduced because of damage, infection, the electrical impulse becomes weak. The charge which we want cell to take information from one to other, this usually happens in stroke patients at multiple areas. So what we suggest, these particular therapies will improve the electrical impulse by the magnetic and electrical forces which are passed through your body in the spinal column and in the brain. Acupressure. People may not realize they do make miracle changes, because brain represents on your somatic cells with their specific meridian points. These meridian points, if you stimulate, like eye has a point, hearing has a point, motor movements has a point, reflexes has a point, sensory has a point, even pain has a point. If we use, along with the other regeneration technology which I'm talking, to improve the environment, I'm talking all this technology to improve the environment of the brain. This is endogenous. This also improves the signaling factors in the brain. Now, whole body vibration. Now, every living being, whether you take a microbe, fungus, or a multicellular animal like us, the human being, though we find we are not moving, but let me express you, between the movement of solar cycle between sun, earth, and moon, every cell is vibrating, which we cannot see, is in nano vibrations. These vibrations are important for the regenerations. Now, these are the technologies where the cells which are dying, their vibration levels become very poor. So regeneration comes down, electrical impulse become poor, the regeneration becomes down, their electric stimulations which are reduced from the chemical molecules are reduced, then growth factors are reduced. So all they together affect the neural function. So we have to see that all these environments are changing. Now this technology synchronizes your vibration of the organs with the natural vibrations, so as they achieve the neurogenesis. Now, this is called as a very intense pulse pressure. Now, here I'll tell you what I'm doing with the patient which has got a regulatory problem. If you touch your base of the brain behind, at the base of the brain, you can feel a small space in the last vertebra and the opening mega opening of the skull from where the cord is coming down, that is foramina magnum. Now, if you understand this space on a scan, this probe of this machine will develop the high pressure waves which we cannot see. This wave we cannot see like ultrasound. These are ultra speed waves. This will move with the electrifying speed, this wave created by the sound within the machine by piezoelectric impulses, and target that particular area which I showed you, nucleus arrogacis, where the functional loss of deglutition muscles is lost. Now what they will do, they will target this area and release the capillaries for the growth factors and induce neurogenesis in most of the surrounding nuclear cells. And once the surrounding nuclear cells start, the growth factors which are required, stability factors which are required, and angiogenesis required, the nuclear area starts repairing. I have seen on the third day, this lady could deglute the water, swallow the water compulsorily, which she was shocked, astonished how she could do it. Now she's undergoing a 15 to 20 days program where we target this area along with the part of stem cells and the growth factors and various other technologies. This I specifically showed you because these technologies are targeted to change the environment and the cellular area. What we do here, pressure waves, we are changing the environment by releasing internal, endogenous, your own body growth factors or angiogenesis. Now, in these stroke patients where the considered pathology is diabetic, hypertensive, or a bleed or a clot, always remember they develop a lot of inflammation in the body. And this inflammation, either because of accumulation of inflammatory molecules, heavy metals, which normally they affect the angiogenesis and neurogenesis of the body, and recovery becomes very slow. If we use detoxification, various procedures, you can remove these molecules which are interfering in your regeneration. Ozone reduces inflammation. It makes a lot of difference in the neurogenesis. Now, vagus nerve stimulation. This is a neuromodulation device. Neuromodulation is changing the future of neurosurgery or neural science, particularly the stroke or degenerative conditions like ALS or even Parkinson or Alzheimer's. These neuromodulations, they play a major role in genuation in every part where they travel in the neural brain part of in the neuronal part of the brain. Now, how do we do that? There are gadgets and devices which we can implant in the body, which can continuously, the stimulations are not once or twice. To see the neurons regenerating, you have to have continuous impulses pass through these nerves and see that particularly speech, particularly deglutition, particularly emotional areas at the base of brain, which I'm counting for you to understand this vagus nerve stimulation or a neuromodulation technology delivers the electrical impulses to those specific areas and continuous process so that the neurons regenerate that area. Now we have a device either implanted or in the hand, and you can use at your leisure time how we can use this 10th cranial nerve to stimulate those areas of the brain. Now this is a new technology which I have just applied for. Now if you see your body has got platelets, whether the injury is in the brain, whether the injury is in the bone, or whether the injury is in the lungs. This particular ablation technology I'm using for the post-COVID traumas in the brain or in the lungs or muscles to deliver the growth factors which are present in the platelets. You have to remember, whenever your relative gets malaria or dengue, we just get the platelets from the blood bank and transfuse them directly. When these platelets you can give intravenous as a safe to recover in this kind of infectious disease, then you can understand local delivery through the nasal base. You have a cribriform plate from which your sensory nerves for the nose come as a minor nanoparticle sizes of the nerve ends, which will come as a receptors in the nasal cavity in the turbinates or nasal septums, and you smell, you feel that we are breathing. Now these nerves get activated by the growth molecules or the stimulatory molecules from the platelet, which is lysed. Lysed means they are lyophilized in the powder form. And the nebulizer container, which contains your respiratory medicines, normally for asthma, that is like Asthaline or something like that. In place of that, you can nebulize this powder diluted in normal saline, and you can breathe in. So you can experience that the molecules from the nasal cavity entering through the cribriform plate in the neural circulation. These are very innovative technologies, which are, I can assure you, they will not have a single side effect on your body, because the products belong to your own body, prepared from your own platelets. And platelets are already as one of the first molecule or actor. When you put a drama of a healing, various cells play co-actors. The platelets play major actor in a healing process or repairing process. Now, these are again technologies which are called as transcranial magnetic and electrical stimulations. Now, when we map the brain, we look into what are the targets, as I told, shown you areas which are important for targeting. Now, the depth, which I showed you in the development of the neural depth from the surface, 1 or 2 centimeter or 3 centimeter, will help you in the mapping processes. What we do, the depth of those neurons by scan technologies, experiencing the depth of neurons, the functional abilities of those neurons. We look into that. And then this transcranial magnetic field or stimulation or resonance is created, which will activate those partially damaged neurons or those neurons which are in the niche areas or astrocytes to differentiate into new neurons. All these are innovative technologies which we can use in our regeneration of the brain. Electrical, similarly, transcranial, similarly, both are electricals and magnetic resources. And these are non-invasive technologies where there is no process of any kind of stitch, anesthesia, or any kind of injection or any kind of damage. Now, magnetic resonance therapy. Now, this is a very important, very new technology which is launched in Germany. Now, what happens here? This particular machine regenerates the imaging technologies of the brain mapping, what we do as an MRI, where they use a higher frequency. They could find when they are doing repeated MRI in some of the patients, it has shown the regeneration or repair of certain neuronal areas. And they went back to your laboratory to find out what are those specific frequencies of resonance which are created by the stable magnet or unstable magnet by using electricity, are useful for regeneration of the muscle fibers, bones, or even neurons. So we have specific chips and plates which are defined by MBST technology to get that neuronal regeneration, and internal, again an internal one which you are doing. And what is most important during this paper, during all this process, a tailor-made design dye which helps you to rejuvenate the neurons. Why? I'll tell you, because they contain certain molecules which are anti-inflammatory, immunomodulatory, which help to reduce the inflammation and improve the immune cells in those areas. And particularly when you take the molecules are derived by hard nuts, dry fruits, or any kind of, you can say, camel milk. These will be helpful to have those anti-inflammatory and immunomodulatory effects. Now, the entire rehabilitation program is arranged along with that, as I spoke you, the gait training, motion exercises, the even exercise reduced to spa. I have seen some of the informations on the group discussing about the spasticity using Botox injections. Now, Botox injections, which are derived from certain bacteriums, they have a only toxic effect on the spastic neurons, which are causing spasticity at the neuromuscular junctions, and that will help to make the paralysis of those muscles and the spasticity go out. But it doesn't improve, it reduces the momentary effects. And over a period of 2 months, 3 months, you again get the spasticity. And when the spasticity comes back, it is more. Remember one thing, whenever you take this kind of molecules, the technologies of this kind, when the effect of these molecules like Botox will go away, the spasticity will increase more. So what we need to do to reduce the spasticity, the technology which I'm going to talk to you is called as cell-to-cell communication in the muscle cells, neuromuscular junctions, and the neural tissues. If they improve by reducing the damages taken place around the neurons by improving cell-to-cell contact with the neurosynaptic connections, or the molecular functions that which we come from the neurotransmitters, that can be improved by using a technology which is called as a pulse generation between 8 to 12 hertz. 8 to 12 hertz using matrix technologies. And they, within days, I'm talking not in months. Even if you try to use your spastic spleens which are dynamic spleens or fixed spleens, to stretch your hands and then put them into exercises to reduce the spasticity, it takes months and years, that to partial degree. But with this technology, I can assure you the spasticity, whether it's a paraspinal, whether it's a wrist, whether it's a forearm, with an elbow, shoulder, or a neck, or the lower extremities, along with the cellular component, can be reduced in days, not in months. And the communication from cell to cell can be improved. Now, these technologies combination, I call them to be a sandwich protocol. Now, to understand furthermore, I was talking sometime in the last month in one of the medical school about the future science of the neuron, in addition to what I spoke, which are currently in the practice. But bionic arm is a science which is at the edge of STEMRx in down the line learning artificial intelligence technologies using various artificial technologies, the Bluetooth science, Bluetooth technologies. We can bypass the neuronal axons and give the circuit information from the peripheral area to the neurons which are existing in the brain. These are technologies which are at a very, very corrective edge. Next stage, maybe down the line, I would say rather, some of the people in the US are already beneficiaries of this technology as in trial models, which we are introduced in India subsequently with the e-learning processes.
We seem to have lost you or your audio, Dr. Pradeep.
They're moved here. So that's her thumb, her index finger, her middle finger, ring, and small. So if I hit, what finger do you feel?
Yeah, like my hand feels it.
She can even feel temperature.
My hand is cold. Oh, it's cold. Oh, it's very cold.
Melissa's brain has limbs.
Open your hand for me. Great. Close your hand.
Now, these technologies are called as artificial intelligence application with the neural link. And this can be easily achieved in the paralytic patients. If you have a bionic arm, then the existing arm could be put into function. And usually, when the existing arm is there, we may not require a Bluetooth technology, but when we put a synthetic bionic arm, we may require a Bluetooth technology from the markings at the arm where we show the arm is lost. The neural track of the brain going to various fingers are traced out, put into a track in a software, and the software is loaded in the digital plate. And even if you think in the brain, I want a glass of water, your hand will move to take a glass of water in spite it is paralytic. So these technologies are at the edge of coming years down the line, maybe 1 year, maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years. But I'm fortunate to get introduced these technologies and bring in India, which are the beneficiaries, few people in the US, we can bring in this technology to multi-million people, because though we feel those expensive technologies in US are very expensive, but indigenization, which is my team is working, is very cost effective, very cost effective. Then comes like a technology, functional electrical stimulations. These are our technologies which we still practice to bring the patients to recover by rewiring of the brain through the circuits and a software which is designed in a machine which will stimulate that muscle which is paralyzed and gives an instruction to the muscle to contract the moment it will come like this, to grasp the moment it will come the fingers, which I will show you, demonstrate in one of the patient or few of the patient in subsequent videos. Oh, sorry. Now, similar technology using this particularly FES, you can see a video how this patient made walk, and the same technology, I'll show you a video which we are running in our lab also. Now, if you see the FES now, this is in my own hospital, you can see the paralytic leg moving. They're giving that specific muscle the contraction. Now, this is also a magnetic transcranial stimulation TMS technologies. If you see the neurons getting excited from the brain, and various these technologies at STEMRx are coordinated in the sandwich protocol. Now, if you see this, again, a harness is used to patient to walk in a paralytic patient. Don't bring these things here. Now, this is which is done in a neuro rehabilitation or neuromodulation labs.
Tell us what we're watching right now insofar as the functional electrical stimulation device is doing something that apparently is allowing this person to walk.
So what is really exciting about this technology, the walking per se has been done and it's been available for many years. So you can fire different muscle groups, and in this particular case, you can fire per.
The neuronal recircuiting and firing we can achieve back by using FES technologies. And these technologies are currently in a clinical commercial practice have come up now. No, so we don't have to feel my self-respect I have lost because I have lost my motor movements, because I have lost my vision, because I lost my speech, because I lost my various functions. Now, these can be re-achieved by using these technologies. Now, this WISPL technology is one of the technology which is already coming in the next month with me. The small video will understand to make you understand how easy it can be achieved using functional electrical stimulations.
Did you know that every year almost 1 million people in the United States suffer from medical illnesses that cause paralysis of their arms? The most common cause of this paralysis is strokes, spinal cord injuries, and ALS. For most of these individuals, they will never be able to perform independent tasks again, like drinking from a glass of water, brushing their teeth, or just giving someone a hug. But what if I told you that this could all change? What if I told you all these people could regain the use of their arms to perform everyday tasks, and that too within a day? And what if I told you that this could all be accomplished without any surgery or implanted devices? So how does this happen? An individual with paralysis of their arms has small stickers attached to any muscle of their body they can still contract. When the patient forcibly contracts this muscle, the stickers then sends a signal telling a small device on our brace to bend, so the patient can get their hands to their mouth. So if they can get their hand to their mouth, we can get them to use a special glass to drink water from, and all by themselves. Smart. It is extremely low profile, light, and it's contoured to the individual's arm. It is so small that it can fit underneath the shirt. And last, it is extremely affordable. The best part of our system is how easy it is to learn to use. We now have been able to teach individuals how to use it over telemedicine visits. And this then can save them visits to see a therapist.
Whisper Technology are our technology partners in US, where we will be developing with the same technology in India, which is already one of the two of the units will be readily imported from US and will be using in the month of maybe July or August. Again, this is similarly Mind Move, a similar technology of using vagus nerve stimulation for sleep development. And this video also teaches you the same kind of things. Let's move to the next slide because this video is a little longer video. Next slide. This is not. This we should.
Yes, sir.
No, we are not showing this. This. Now this is again a technology. Go back. This same video will be there. Now what our patients of similar type of recurring with the neural damages will be seen to us. Now this is one which already I shown you.
इमरान को डॉक्टर महाजन के बारे में यूट्यूब से पता चला। वो जब डॉक्टर महाजन से मिले तब डॉक्टर महाजन ने उनको सेल बेस्ड थेरेपी का सुझाव दिया। इससे उनके जॉइंट वापस
मेरा नाम मोहम्मद इब्राहिम है। मैं आपके नाम महाराष्ट्र का रहने वाला हूँ और मुझे एवियन स्टेज 3।
This is one of the child of 1 year old with the brain damage because of the bleed in the brain.
मतलब उसका नींद भी अच्छा हो गया पहले से।
Because of this patient, we recorded in the India Book of Records the recovery of the child which was damaged because of stroke and newborn baby at the time of birth.
उंगलियां खोलते हैं पंजों की। वो भी अभी
Now this guy has a stroke in the brain. Next. Fine. This one. Now you could realize these are the beneficiaries of the technologies which are developed at StemRx, and they are finding physical, motor benefits, sensory benefits, or any kind of spatial centers of the brain benefits. Now, I have shown you some of the molecules like granulocyte stimulating factor. If you keep this molecule in a stroke patient for a longer duration to take, I will assure you the new capillary developments carrying the function in the brain will enhance more along with the internal changes and external changes in the brain. Regaining moment, restoring dignity is our ultimate goal, which various looking at technologies, we can achieve this brain into a complex structure, what we thought earlier, into a most simplest organ in the body, if we understand its development, which I have shown some time before. Because this development is important to understand how to localize, how to function those parts of the brain and achieve those stimulations of the neurons. Overall, this today's presentation was to make you realize we are at the edge of a future science or a border at the cutting edge innovations which are going to change your life in future. If you feel that some of the things we could not understand, the time limit of today's talk was 1 hour. That is the reason I have put into a type of working into complete 1 year, because there are many other peptide technologies which I have shown in the slide. They could be incorporated in the programs using various technologies, or Neuralink chip, I could not show you here, which is also used to improve the brain functions from the sensory area to take to the peripheral junction area, motor area from the brain area to the peripheral neurons using Bluetooth technologies. Now, looking at the changes which we are expected to come in the future to rehabilitate the stroke patients, I am very confident you all stroke survivors will have a quality, restoring your dignity, back to your normal life, not depending on others. Let me hope these all will be commercially or available in the research model in the future for all of you. Thank you, my dear friends, for hearing the entire presentation and patient understanding. Hardeep, I'm really thank you for giving me the opportunity to express the entire presentation here.
So we have a question.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Pradeep. Indeed, a very interesting presentation, and as a layman, also a lot there to digest. I'm sure it will sink in slowly. There will be queries, etc. also. And I have a host I have been jotting down while you have been speaking. But I would request you, firstly, let us quickly look at the chat and also the questions in the chat. Meanwhile, if anyone wants to put anything in the chat or even later wants to raise their hand and speak within the time that we have available, Dr. Pradeep, if you can answer. Can you read the chat, sir, or should I read for you?
I'm just answering the chat. This is a very good question, which probably everyone, Lakshman, wants to ask. Whether it is a fresh injury or a 9-year-old chronic hemiplegic injury can be recorded. Remember one thing, older the injury, compromised recovery. There is definitely improvement is there, but compromised. Now, entire process I have articulated with the artificial intelligence, and the entire process I made in such a talk with a layman can very easily understand what I want to communicate. Now here, the regeneration I can attach with the artificial intelligence. The 9-year chronic hemiplegic patient can definitely get his respect of achieving certain motor movements and get into a normal life. I may not say 100%, but I told you, and 20 to 30% regeneration in the cellular level will reflect in the phenotype, in the motor movements, more than 70%, which is very much possible, Lakshman. If you feel anything difficult here to understand, please.
Thank you so much, sir.
There is one more question. Please put, no, that's okay. I need back. The same question is repeated here. Please put your queries in this. Okay, fine. Support. How many days after stem cell therapy can be improved? Very nice. See, there are two concepts. Don't expect miracles in any kind of newer technologies also using stem cell technology, and where I spoke to you about the sandwich protocol or various bionic technologies. Don't expect miracles, but definitely we can, after examination, give the specific outcomes of the motor movement, speech movement, or autonomic movements in the intestine, or even the neurogenic bladder. In fact, I'll tell you, with one of the patients from Bangkok who came, is a US citizen, who came with the injury of the bladder after having a stroke in the brain, entire record, the bladder remained neurogenic. Trust, he could urinate at least 40 to 50% today with the bladder function recovery. What is more important, I have added this person to improve, to avoid his catheterization and neural chip. neural chip, spinal neural chip to implant at the cord level and connected is the fibers to the bladder, so that further 40% can be achieved. So you understood how to combine the artificial intelligence with the natural regeneration in the internal organ as well as physical movement also that can be done. That is not a big problem. Now we are at the edge where we can see cell therapies which can be immediately seen result in such patients and will take 3 months, 6 months, or a year, depending on the neural circuits development and how old is your injury. If the fresh injuries are there, within a month you can see changes. If your injuries are 6 months or 1 year old, 2 year old, 3 years, you may require a little more time. And the recovery percentage may reduce, may not be like the fresh injuries. So the time outcome depends on customization and personalized protocols of those patients. Samir asks me about umbilical cord blood, which he might have stored in the blood bank, cord blood bank. Now, let me tell you, there are certain regulatory procedures which you have to follow. The bank where you store, there are certain regulatory documents to be complied before we use those cells. If we comply those things, we can definitely use those cells for regeneration therapies. And that can be for the self to the patient. We don't require the regulatory process, but to others to use, we require definitely the documentation. The next question from Samir about the regulatory, which I already explained him, because we have to register as a trial, individual trial, self-funded trial, and do that procedure. That should not be a problem. Yeah, the question Samir has again asked, what is the connection between the neurofeedback and the stem cells? Very nice connection, very nice question, Samir. I'll explain you in the process what I was talking in the sandwich protocol. Neuromodulation is one of the technologies which improves the neurofeedback to develop the new circuits. And these circuits are enhanced with the threefold, fourfold, fivefold regeneration of those circuits by using stem cell technologies. There's one more question. Thank you, Mandal, for expressing thanks for me for presenting. Any more questions, you can always get in touch with on my WhatsApp mobile number or my email address. You can note down drpvmahajan@gmail.com or stemrx.in, which already is shown on the last slide, which I'll put on the screen again, and my number. We are always welcome, not only on these issues, what I have spoken today, but any other regeneration related to the brain or any organ of the body. We can explain you its concept, the possibility, and the outcomes. These are all three things are measured on the stage of the injury, duration, and your age. Earlier age, better recoveries. The morbid conditions like diabetes, hypertension, or renal damages, or maybe a degenerative conditions of the neuron, there's a limitation, but you can still regenerate using those modern technologies. And also when you start the disease, early or late, depends on that.
So there was one question on Facebook.
I will just ask you one question, sir. I think it was not addressed. Samir has also asked, and in fact, that is a query that I also had. If you can address that. What about the regulation of these therapies?
I just now spoke, Hardeep,
Yeah.
in autologous therapies. When we talk of therapy, it comes of the preview of regulatory rules. When we use the cord blood cells or cord tissue cells, the regulatory approvals are to be taken in the form of the self-funded trials, which I showed you, just now spoke you. Or you have to register in the trials and get them till they become regulatory approved. But the therapies, which I spoke, most of them, they come out of preview of regulation. And as far as in artificial intelligence comes, it doesn't come under any kind of regulation. It comes under the medical device, which we have to get approved and also use along with the regeneration. So regulations are those for across the counter, or when we are doing genetic modulations or using somebody else's cell, they will come into picture. In Japan, in Korea, these regulations are very simple. Even any doctor can do all these treatments and prove after doing 10 cases in the regulatory body that these cases have shown the response 50%, 70%, and then he gets approved for thus allogenic or some kind of therapies. In India, the frameworks are getting framed. Some of the frames which have taken a shape, which I already explained you. So I was one of the members who has drafted the guidelines in the regulation.
Okay. And I think Shruti has, do insurance companies in India recognize these procedures?
Very nice in a commercial background, I'll tell you. Now, some of the companies are corporate companies, they cover the stem cell therapy. They cover the gadgets, which are approved gadgets, okay? And their cost is reimbursed. Now, if somebody is interested to know which are the companies, they can please contact me. I'll give the guideline to them, which are the companies they cover for stem cell therapies. Some of the companies, they cover 50%. Some of the company covers 70%. Some of the companies cover 100%, which come in the corporate group policies. Or if you pay an extra premium, they will cover up. And foreign companies, particularly Kenyan government insurance, that covers almost all complete. In US also some of the companies cover. In Middle East also some of the companies cover. The list is with me. Anybody is interested, they can always come back to me.
Okay, fine. Shruti, that was the only question? You had something else to ask also? Okay.
Hello, sir. What I want to know is, for stroke treatment, whether umbilical cord stem cells can be used or bone marrow stem cells can be used.
Let me very simple question to understand, but for you it is very difficult. For me, it's very simple to understand. When I talk autologous, means your own bone marrow can be used. When we use cord tissue cells, they are allogenic from somebody else's source. So we'll have to undergo some regulatory processes in that. We can be used. And most important, if we use the placental cells, they have embryonic character. They have a more of a neurogenic potential. And that too further I'll most illustrate you. If you have a dental stem cells from dental decidua, they have still more neurogenic potential. Means that cell by nature means by its internal character differentiates into neurons.
Okay, so for example, I can use my dental, let's say, cells without going into any regulatory issues, and it will be allowed. Is that, as a layman, is that understandable?
If you are manipulating in the lab, you will have to take a regulatory approval. If you are not manipulating in the lab, you can use for yourself.
I can use it for myself. Whatever I'm generating.
If you are not manipulating in the lab.
Okay, okay. And most of these, I mean, as a layman, most of these therapies, would they require such a manipulation in the lab? Or
I'll explain you now. It's a very nice question. Now, as I told you, mapping of the brain is a concept first. Mapping of the brain will define what are the therapies you require, which type of peptides you require, what number of time of therapies are required, and what number of other neuromodulatory therapies which are required here.
Okay. Okay, so the first step would be a mapping.
Mapping is very, very important. Because you know what damage area has taken place, how old it is, how scar has formed, you are getting my point. Once you do the mapping, as I told you, this lady which is working, which is in treatment with me, I have mapped at the area of the brain which relates to deglutition. And we are targeting that area with various therapies first to create a microenvironment so as my cells will go and harvest there or home there. So that the recovery will be very fast.
Okay, Mr. Samir has a question. Samirji, if you can unmute yourself and ask.
Yes, Dr. Mahajan, thank you again for a very, very informative session. I want to go back to the regulation again. And the reason is, I'm in the US, but I'm also from Mumbai originally. So in 2018, 2019, I had done a lot of research because I had a massive brain stroke of the cerebellum 4.5 years ago. So in 2018, 19, मैंने research किया था about stem cells, right? And what I concluded in that research was, India mein there were a lot of places offering stem cells therapy, this and that, with no or very less regulation. Or either it's exactly the opposite. There's a lot of regulation. I think stem cells, I don't think it's legal here. FDA has not approved it here.
Question, I'll explain you what is US standard about this and what is India's standard.
Okay, yeah. So my, and this was back in 2018, 2019. So, I said if they're going to, if stem cells are going to be injected into me, I'll rather be safe than sorry. So until the FDA approves it here, I'm not going to proceed with stem cells, because in India, I heard a lot of people talking about stem cells for a lot of things with no or very less regulations. Here, it's exactly the opposite. So I don't know if it's changed from 2018-19 or where do we stand in the US as far as you know.
See, in US, I'm affiliated with Indianapolis University for developing TNT technology as a trial which we are working, the first human trial in India. Okay. Second, some of the videos which I showed, you primarily designed in US these therapies, not in India. So these technologies, they go through some regulatory process before they come to the human. But stem cells as such in US are in autologous character. When you use your own cells without manipulation, I spoke the same thing, repeated advice to Hardeep when he spoke about the dental stem cells. That without manipulation you use, you don't undercome any regulatory process, first of all, whichever part of the world you go. The reason is that you do fat transplant from one place to other in cosmetic. You do bone grafting from one area to other area. Is the same way you take the bone marrow, isolate specific type of cells and transplant them in specific areas. So it doesn't come under regulation, first of all. When you start manipulating cells in the lab more than 48 hours, it will come to regulatory views. Now in India, Samir, I would like to make very clear, since you're in US, I'll make you very understand. It's not only India. Let me tell you, some stem cell therapy centers in California, centers in Florida, borderline Mexico, even New Jersey are breaking the regulations in US, where I know the people personally, what they're doing it. The reason I'm telling you is that whenever the new technology comes in, every short beneficiary people, they open the snake oil shops. Snake oil shop does mean to make fast buck monies. Right. So it is the customer's requirement, patient's requirement to find out by doing a proper research. Are we in a right place? Are we with the right person? Are we having the right treatment? Samir, you understand now? So it is a matter of research. It's a matter of self-exploration to find out in India also or in US also. Because in US, I'll show you close down of so many stem cell shops in California. So many of them. Some of them have opened their shop in India and shown their office in US. I will not take the names of those. I know the owners of those companies also. Those are closed down by the FDA, and India also the same situation. It is not very far off, but the regulations in Japan and Korea are much easier to apply on the clinical side, to take these technologies for the patient benefit. And Samir, second, the fear in your mind, let me remove the fear in the mind about the regulation in any kind of new technologies, or particularly related to the cell technologies. Remember, these cell technologies, as far they remain in your body environment from one place to other, these cells are 200% safe. If you feel the cells can become tumorigenic, tumor, or can differentiate in other tissues. Let me clear your fact. This science, it works at molecular level. Every cell is tightly regulated. Tightly means very tightly regulated with the differentiation in cell molecular system. Once they go in a specific environment, they cannot do any other function than that particular cell. I'll give you an example. In IT industry, if somebody is taught to develop a software, somebody is taught to program something else, and if this programmer you put into some other language or developing some program, he cannot do anything. He has to go back to the same function, otherwise he's thrown out of the system. Similarly, body is tightly regulated. One. Second, as far as tumorigenicity is concerned, the cell has to be embryonic in character to become an embryonic stem cell, embryonic cancer cell. Then only you can have a cancer. Adult cell cannot reverse back to become a cancer cell because cancer cells come from cancer stem cells, not from the adult cells. And I'm making you so many things clear in your mind. First of all, let me clear, all the pharmacological molecules are used with the limitation of their side effects, their toxicity. In spite they are FDA approved. I'll show you drugs toxicity in neuronal conditions if you use little 1 gram more. But let me tell you, cell therapies are 200% safe. Only thing you need to have a right person, right knowledgeable center, and have a regulatory process to follow it. Got it clear, Samir?
Dr. Mahajan, almost, but I'm still a little bit confused.
Come on.
And let me just I understand from you that if the stem cells are not modified, then there's no regulation involved.
Yes.
But if they are modified, then regulations are involved.
Very simple.
So is that the stated policy of the FDA? Because I'm hearing a blanket statement here that stem cells are illegal.
Again, I'll tell you. Yeah. If you say hematopoietic stem cells which use a bone marrow transplant are illegal, ask my question now, answer my question.
Yes, I'm sorry, say that again.
Stem cells which are used in bone marrow transplant are illegal?
No.
Who said this answer?
No, I did.
Now remember, legality of using any process as a therapy is not regulated by FDA. Again, I repeat, drugs which are used, molecules, cells and molecules, which are regulated as drug from when used across the counter comes under the Drug Control Act.
Okay.
They don't come under the Regulatory Act. Because if you go to Japan FDA, go to the regulations, US, you go to the regulations, you will get to know all these facts. Even Indian FDA has not still finalized to put autologous stem cells under the regulation. Still, there is a dispute in India still to put it. Definitely, the moment you manipulate, there is a regulation.
Correct.
And I have given an example. Fat cells I transplant from my buttocks to my cheeks to improve my puffiness. Do you require regulation?
Okay.
You require to bone marrow graft from my iliac crest to put on a place where the bone is not healing. Do you require regulation? What is bone marrow graft? It's a bone marrow.
Right. So as long as it's not modified, you don't. There is no regulation.
This is what you need to clear in your mind. So
first
of all, my request is, all your audience are very learned from all the corners of the world. Please, if you have any issue on regulation, any issue on therapy development, or any issue in the newer innovative technologies, which are artificial intelligence and regulation, stem cells or regeneration, you can always come to me. I will clear your understanding. Samir, I hope I have cleared your most of the thoughts.
Yeah. I think so, Dr. Mahajan, and thank you. And next time I'm in Mumbai, I'll definitely come and see you. Where in Mumbai are you based?
I'm based in Navi Mumbai and one in Andheri at Seven Hills Hospital.
Oh, okay, great. I will do that. So if I have to, this is my last question. If I have to do stem cell therapy here in the US, so you said there are different shops in or different.
Florida, you go, they will find 100 shops.
Achha. So
They are all doing illegal.
So let me ask you one question, Dr. Mahajan. I've seen 3-4 different neurologists here and 3-4 different neurologists in India for my, rehab. And how come nobody has mentioned stem cells?
I'll explain you now. This is a very good question. During the course of my talk, you have heard very important relationship of my understanding. What is taught to me in a medical school is 50 years before researched. Not from a research paper, everything comes to me. What I am talking you today is 20 years ahead of research.
Okay.
So these people whom you have spoken or met, they have been not exposed to newer research technologies. Now, when I have set up my shop with my learned processes, why I want to lose my business? So I'll never advise you stem cell therapy if I'm practicing with a standard medical care. I don't want to close my shop. I don't want to lose my patients. So I will talk to you. And it's all unresearched. It will not happen. You're going in the wrong place. All the stories are there. Humbug. If any neurologist whom you are in contact, and if you want to understand, you can always connect me. I will take them to the molecular level and explain them what is neurogenesis. If you see in my development initial part, I showed you a slide, what is the dogma which was followed up to 1900. And sorry, 1998, that is 2000. And after 2000, what dogma in 20 years has changed? I've shown you that. And the names of those specific authors also I have shown you, which specifically speaks neurogenesis. Even today is, I'll tell you as a stroke, your stroke survival. Tell me when you had a stroke, you had a complete paralysis. Am I correct?
My left side was completely paralyzed.
Yeah.
So I had a massive stroke in the cerebellum. So my motor functions are still affected.
Yeah. Now you tell me, after how many years, are you same guy with the same kind of paralytic effect, or there are some improvements?
The left side has improved, but the weakness is still there. But Dr. Mahajan, my dizziness and balance issues have got worse.
Those will bring back. That's not a problem. I'll explain why I asked you this question. I'll tell you. Now, doing simple therapies, we have programs with the advice of rehab doctors and neurophysicians or neurosurgeons. Without doing interventions or interference with the surgical procedure or any advanced procedures which I spoke just now, you have shown at least 10%, 20% recovery. Yes, no?
Correct. Yes.
What does it speak? The new neurons and new dendritic synaptic developments have taken place in your brain or not? Yes, no?
Yes.
You are already saying for my every question, yes. It means you accept that neurogenesis takes place in the brain. Agreed?
Agreed. If
I can move 10%, cannot I enhance to 20%?
Sure.
If I pass with 35 marks, can I not go to 70% mark?
Possibly.
I'll explain you furthermore easy. What is your age?
51.
51. Now today, if I ask you, learn German language, you will take up new classes, teachers, you will start working on neuromodulation of your brain to develop new language in the brain. Am I correct? New words, new pronunciations. How do you learn this? Without developing new synaptic connections?
No, you have to get those connections, right?
Without that, how you learn? The learning process is a new synaptic connections.
Right.
So you got your answers to your questions now?
Yeah, Dr. Mahajan.
This is a normal process. Regeneration and repair is a basic right of every living being, from bacteria to the human beings. You should know how to do it, how to develop those technologies, how to target those, how to enhance. I told you so many procedures. Their procedures, their medical applications, I told you, peptides, I told you, magnetic resonance, I told you, all these are applied technologies today. But how many people know it? You go to all stem cell center. Any stem cell in the US will not be able to explain you this.
Okay.
In India also will not be possible to explain you. It is the science which I'm going to talk to you, not the out of science, anything.
Okay.
Is it clear?
So, yeah, it's clear. So one question, though, Dr. Mahajan. So after my stroke, right, I was completely, the left side was paralyzed. My strength was, I was very weak. My vision was a problem. So that has, the strength has improved over the last 4.5 years. Vision has improved and my left side weakness has improved, but my dizziness and balance have not improved at all. In fact, they have gone up.
So I'll explain you. During the process of recovery, there's always a changing environment, stimulations of various centers. It depends on your rehab program. While doing one, you should not damage to other also to enhance their secretory module. Secretory module means secretomes, that is neurotransmitters. Now, as far as dizziness is concerned and tinnitus is concerned, you have to combine neuromodulation with having a drop of simple MSC cells through the round window of your ear in the middle ear. That much is sufficient to get about your dizziness or vertigo and to stabilize the function of the cochlear nerve and auditory nerve or ciliary cells of your cochlear system. So dizziness is vertigo, like you feel may fall, you may feel it's blurring out. You're getting me?
Yeah. So I feel like I'm intoxicated with alcohol without
That's what I'm saying you. This
Right.
can be improved back by targeting those centers of the brain.
Okay.
You got it now? Only
Yeah.
neuromodulation can bring you out with simple 1 or 2 drops of stem cells.
Right. Okay.
Any more questions?
Well, thank you so much.
I hope, Samir, I have taken out of your mind, which was in the search of something which you felt is a wrong area. But let me tell you, you are at the right place at the right time where the science is dynamic and changing.
Thank you. I'll definitely explore further this year.
Yeah, please.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hardeep, thanks again once more.
Thank you, Dr. Pradeep. I see that we're almost 2 hours. So it has been a really interesting session. And yes, I think during your conversation with Samiji, you also addressed some of the questions that I had in mind, which I wanted to ask. And I'm sure going forward, you have given your contact coordinates. People here or on the group can be in touch with you. I really don't want to hold you any longer, quite frankly. It's almost 2 hours. I can understand that. It is, a very long session in that way. So thank you very much for all your efforts. I think deeply appreciated, I'm sure, by all of us. And a very interesting session. I think I will be reverting back to that session again and again, and perhaps you also, as I go, forward in my learnings as to what are the possibilities. These are indeed cutting-edge technologies, yes, of course, and I'm sure experience going forward will teach us all many, many things as we go forward. So thank you very much, Dr. Pradeep, again, for all your efforts. Thank you, all the participants, for being here. I'm sure you found it interesting. I am also putting my email ID if anyone wants to get in touch with us about feedback on this or anything that they have in mind going forward. Please put a feedback for us and we will share or we will work accordingly. Very much again.
If Samir is interested, I can put him in US also, where he can improve the motor function of his extremities with using the technologies of FES. My own counterparts are very expert in this, particularly in Ohio State. He himself is a surgeon like me, or in Canada, where these technologies are regulated and commercialized.
Well, that will be really great. Thank you, Dr. Mahajan. What I'll do, Dr. Mahajan, I'll reach out. I'll send an email so you have my email contact as well.
Please. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Fine. So
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you very much. And I'm ending the meeting now. All stay safe and well. And thank you again, Dr. Pradeep. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.